Hey, welcome back. I was a dumb fuck. You wanna know what happened? Yeah, I accidentally forgot that, I accidentally forgot that my entire fucking bullshit happened. Oh boy. Alright. Filter. Properties. What the fuck am I looking for again? Uh, top. Locate chat box. Left panel. Alright, so that's not what I'm looking for. Left panel. Left panel. So, no widgets. I hate having to go through so many fucking hoops just to do a basic fucking task, but here I am. Either way, I don't want that. Fuck off. Mm-hmm. Alright. Let's fucking try this shit again. Fucking try this shit again. I don't know why the fuck it is not working. But I can fucking tell you for a goddamn fact, it's pissing me the fuck off. Goddamn fact, it's pissing me the fuck off. Pop up there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Popping up there. Pop up there. Okay, so you should be showing the fuck up then. You should be showing the fuck up then.
In this video, I'm going to show how to add a chat box overlay. Box is a widget from Streamlabs designed to help you improve the viewing. Now, when it comes to adding a chat box overlay, all you have to do is visit streamlabs.com and download Streamlabs OBS. Open Streamlabs OBS and add a new source. Add a chat box widget, and now your viewers will see your chat box overlay on stream. Pretty easy, right? We try to make it as simple as possible for all of our Streamlabs OBS users, but what if you want to kick it up a notch and add a little bit of extra...
Okay, so I actually have to go live with fucking Streamlabs. Okay, so I actually have to go live. Except it's not actually letting me go live. Or at least it's not fucking doing it properly. Except it's not actually letting me go. Jesus Christ. It should not be this fucking difficult. Like, I'm being fucking real here. It should not be this fucking difficult. It should not be this fucking... I have a game you could fucking capture. You just fucking do it! Jesus Christ. I have a game you can fucking capture. Just fucking do it! Hey. Close. Close! For the love of fucking God. Well, still on stream, which is good. Not that great, but still good. At least somewhat fucking decent. God, I really have to. Okay. Back to my fucking, yeah, my stream's gone. I get it. Fuck off, man. wasn't what I wanted to do. Genuinely wasn't what I wanted to fucking do. In fact. Now. Do I still have to go through? I still have to go through that stream. What's up, yes, oh my god. I had it fucking working perfectly. That's the worst part. Hmm.
You're going to want to open up Streamlabs OBS. Near the top, you'll see the first option is a theme. There's a few options of. Let's leave all these after being displayed a certain amount of time. OBS allows you to hide common chatbots and commands, or by enabling custom code. Want it to look? Move it over to where you want it on your OBS. You can place the widget by pasting the URL from the top as a browser source. Be sure to download Streamlabs messages. They'll appear on the widget in the Streamlabs OBS editor as they would on your stream. If you aren't using Streamlabs OBS, you can place the widget by pasting the URL from the top as a browser source.
As a browser source. How about Mac calling this? Wow.
Hello.
Oh. Helloing. How do?
Pretty good.
Good to
How are
hear.
with you?
Currently struggling with fucking OBS. I'm trying to get my fucking chat box to appear in my fucking stream, and it just fucking ain't working. Currently struggling with fucking OBS. Trying to get my It's shit. It's fucking working.
I think I think I've gotten a little confused because I heard my own words repeated back to me on delay, so I momentarily thought it was a different conversation entirely.
Yeah, no, I'm just fucking aggravated, honestly.
Ah,
Well, that, and I've got my stream also on. Okay, let's fucking try this. Like, I've tried everything. I had it working before. But the key part of that is before.
ah.
Okay. What the fuck is expecting me to do?
Hey there guys, this is Jamaican Bake from Twitch Alerts, and today I'm going to...
Gotta hate the fact that instead of playing a game, I have to actually fucking...
You're going to want to get the version for your operating system. In this case, I'm using Windows, so I'll get the Windows copy. Then head over to this page, which I will link in the description. This is so you can download the zip file. So you're going to want to get the version for your operating system. In this case, I'm using Windows, so I'll get the Windows copy. It will be in a zip file, so make sure you have something, and then you're going to want this PC. This is
But yeah, what's up with you? Anything new?
You now have browser source.
Working on
Add a browser source. You can name
getting myself a job.
Now open up your here,
Same.
and here you're going to want to copy this link at the top of the page. Here I'm going to be copying the alert box with FPS it uses, and then test alert or whatever alert you're going to
Oh,
test. And you'll see it
that
will
is the
go
middle
down.
Congo.
You can also do questions. Feel free to leave.
What are you playing? Or what are you doing, rather? Besides looking for a job.
Playing Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought.
Ah.
Yes. It is something which I enjoy to do.
I'm using Windows, so
Are you fucking for real telling me that I have to download... Oh, God, I might have to upload OBS before I can use my actual fucking chat box.
Ah.
I'll get the Windows, whichever one will work. You want to go to your PC local disk, so the OBS Studio, it over. Close these out. Source, you'll see you now have browser. So now you can add a browser source. Here it will ask you for a link. Now open up your Twitch Alerts dashboard. And here you're going to want to copy this link at the top of the page. Here I'm going to be copying the alert box widget. It will also work for any of the other widgets. And then paste it into the URL section. You can change the size here, as well as the FPS it uses. And then once you're ready, click OK. Now you will.
Okay, that does it for Twitch, but I want to learn for YouTube, motherfucker.
Filled until an alert actually goes off. So over here, you can press test alert or whatever.
How's it going, everyone? John here. Welcome.
And you know,
bring in your
it feels like I haven't seen it in fucking forever.
Fine if you want to look at the chat here, or if you want to look at it whenever you're streaming. But if you want to be able to bring
What's up?
this chat in, what you're gonna want to
I was just saying, you know, I haven't seen him fucking forever in his own damn server.
Tim?
And then you're going
Yeah, I know.
Control V to paste it.
Actually, I don't think I've really seen it much in any other server either.
Do Control C to copy, and then we're going to go back to OBS.
I know you haven't seen much of Tim, but who else haven't you seen a lot of?
What was that?
Who else haven't you seen a lot of? I know Tim is one of them, obviously, which is weird because he's, you know, the
Well,
owner of the
you don't,
server.
you don't exactly you don't exactly play a whole lot or do a whole lot on the server either. And of
No,
course,
I really
the
don't.
only Amira is the only one who seems to be frequently engaged with the server.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Want to do is set up a custom dock, which I already have set up, but what you're going to want to do is go up to View, Docs, Custom Browser Docs. And as you can see, I already have one set up, so you're just going to give it a name, and then you're going to Control V to paste it, and hit Apply. So what that's going to do is that's going to take this and bring it over here into our chat area. So we're going to find our source that we have for our chat, and I have a browser source. So I'm going to right click, go to properties, and since it's blank, we're going to go and do Control V, hit OK, and there we go. So I'm going to type in here in the chat, I'm just going to say hi, and then there, the only downside to it. So it's easy to set up, it's just tedious to have to constantly do it over and over and over again. And then we're going to go back to OBS. You're going to take this link up here and
I'm like a movie caught him. I had it right from the fucking start. Saint Seigneur.
I am happy for you.
It's just a tedious fucking process because it's like, oh, we gotta copy the chat from there, paste it into your OBS with a custom doc, and then fucking, oh my god.
in the browser, and you're going to do Control C to copy. And then we're going to go back to OBS. And what we're going to want to do is set up a custom doc, which I already have set up. But what you're going to want to do is go up to View, Docs, Custom Browser Docs. And as you can see, I already
Oh, Jesus, 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 Jesus. Why?
already have one set up. So name
What's
Control
up?
V to paste it. So what that's going to do is that's going to then populate
Ah,
right here.
fucking
So you
OBS
can
just
see
giving me a
mine,
fucking
since I already
aneurysm.
had set up, it didn't go and populate it, but it was already there. Now what we need to do is take this and bring it over here into our chat area. So we're going to find our source that we have for our chat, and I have mine labeled as YouTube chat browser source. So I'm going to right click, go to properties, and since it's blank, we're going to go and do Control V, hit OK, and there we go. So I'm going to type in here in the chat, I'm just going to say hi, and then there it is right there. So every time you have to stream, you have to go and set this up. So that's the only downside to it. So it's easy to set up, it's just tedious to have to constantly do it over and over and over again because the stream chat and everything changes every time you start a new stream. So that is the only downside to it, but that is at least your workaround for it. And obviously you can still go through the other stuff I've mentioned in my other video about the chat box where you can go and resize it and everything like that. So definitely go ahead and take a look at that video if you guys need any help with that. But I wanted to at least show you guys how to do the custom doc for the chat, especially for those.
Okay, so that worked, but at the same time, it's not transparent, which was what I fucking wanted. Jesus.
What's going on YouTube? Let's get it. you do that, let's just name it chat. That simple now. Once you do that, yes, you click copy. And after you've copied that, you go back to OBS. Within OBS, I need you to add a source. Be in the URL here, paste it.
Yeah, like nerds over here.
And actually, guys, it's that simple now. Like, it is really that simple now. No blurry issues, no having to crop anything out or anything. And just to show you, nowadays, transparently, you can change all of these things within that, and it's totally fine. It's up to you. And just
There's a
So apparently the transparent chat is exclusive to Twitch. Kind of aggravating. I could deal with
That's
it.
too bad. Good.
Kind of aggravating. I can fucking deal with it. No problem. Fine. Fuck it. God. I should probably start streaming on Twitch again. Fucking anyways. I don't really know at this point. Nor do I really care, to be honest. All I know is that, well... Okay. I was mostly complaining to myself for a little bit about how people are complaining about prices on video games. Because I'm sure you've heard, like, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdoms, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, it's like $70 now, right?
What about video games?
Fucking the prices of some
Walking home
video...
on a rain.
Fuck off. Sorry, not you, the video. The prices on some of the video games, some people are saying is getting a little too pricey. It's getting too expensive. Which, for most people, yeah, I can generally understand that, right? But, like, at the same time, games aren't cheap to make.
Yeah, but bumping up, but being like, oh yeah, the standard was about $60 for your brand new AAA game. Now we have decided it will be $70.
there's a line.
Yeah, which, ultimately, you know, at the end of the day, who the fuck cares, realistically? Because, I mean... If we're being realistic here... If we're being realistic, and I do mean this in a sincere way, as games get more graphically intensive and look better, and the tools to make these games get more impressive and look better, prices of things are just going to have to start rising. Because you can't just keep everything the same price forever, because otherwise you're not going to get anything new. Right?
Well, not necessarily. It depends. Like, the tools are getting better, but but able to do more is not the only way in which software improves. Another way it improves is certainly being able to do more with less.
Yeah.
And getting cheaper to make the same thing. And getting cheaper to make the same thing.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, realistically, yeah. But at the same time, there is still this idea of, oh, well, we want our games to be graphically impressive, or we don't want $70, $60 games. It's like, yeah, I get that. I do understand. But as a game is going through the process of being made, you gotta think about things like assets, you know, buildings, the world you're in, the particle effects. They all cost a shit ton of money. And I know a lot of people think that, oh, it's extremely cheap and easy to make a game. It really fucking isn't. Now,
well, it isn't very cheap and easy to make a game.
But
But
I
with
will say
with the
this.
results that you get for your efforts, you would think that every game is incredibly cheaply made.
Yeah. And I've got into a lot of conversations about this with other people, and game companies forgot what it means to be game companies. And I know to a lot of people that sounds stupid, like, huh? The fuck you mean? But game companies don't realize that they can't just push out shitty products and expect us to lap it the fuck up, right? Because back in the day, when video games were hot and they were still the new popular thing, these companies actually cared about making their games. They actually cared about making good products. Fuck, even EA. Fucking Electronic Arts. The now fucking devil man of video games actually used to be one of the most prolific game creators, because they made some pretty good fucking titles back in the day. But now it doesn't happen. The only thing EA produces are shit flops, fucking games that barely do anything, or a fucking halfway decent browser game. But of course, that's just like,
When they push out that shit, now they want you to now pay $70 for it.
yeah, exactly, yeah, it's fucked. But like, I'm neither here nor there. I can see why they want to put it to $70, but I can also see why people are naturally and rightfully so getting upset about it.
Well, yeah, I tend to think people are like, so are we getting a $10 better game for $10 more? And a lot of the time the answer is, well, no, not really.
Yeah, see, the thing is that Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is coming out, and it's a sequel to Breath of the Wild, which, you know, is always good. I love seeing good games get stuff they deserve. But at the same time, I heard a lot of people saying, like, oh, well, you could have just pushed it out for, like, an additional free update. It's like, yeah, but this is... It's not just a free update. They had to change how the story was going. They had to change some of the... to add in a whole bunch of cutscenes. It's not a simple thing.
I take it that Tears of the Kingdom is not so much a sequel as it is a mod.
I mean,
I don't know anything about Breath of the Wild, or I've never heard of this Tears of the Kingdom.
Breath of the Wild was the, like... Well, it was that open world... I hate the fact that people are classifying it as an open world Legend of Zelda game, because all Legend of Zeldas were open world in some sense, but I'm not getting into that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Breath of the Wild came out recently for the Switch. It was one of the Switch launch titles, I think. Either way. If it wasn't, you know, whatever. But the Switch had a really good launch because of the fact that explicitly people were excited. Because now it was a whole new Legend of Zelda game. Which makes sense. There were some gripes, obviously.
Yep.
But I think the one thing that really set off a lot of people was the durability system with the game. Because all weapons and armor in that game have durability. And I know a lot of people are going to say...
I can see how that would get ridiculously annoying.
See, though, here's the thing.
Especially if it's not like a game where you can just buy repair kits or something and, you know, repair the weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
Bunch of cheap repair kits or something.
But see, the thing is, I do understand a durability system, and I do understand why it's in there, because, you know, it makes sense, right? It's realistic. Weapons and armor break down after a while. They aren't going to be in 100% perfect condition.
Yep.
Now, the thing is a lot of people are saying that the sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, should have just been a free update. It's like, yeah, I can partially understand it, but at the same time, it's not just like a small little update where they're adding like a small little DLC with a few hours of content. This is like this is an entirely new story, an entirely new game, an entirely new cinematics and cutscenes and characters and models and monsters and weapons and items. It's not exactly the same. It's not a copy paste with a little bit sprinkled on. It's a whole new fucking thing.
Ah,
But another thing that I've heard be said quite a bit is oh well, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is like the first open world Legend of Zelda game. Every single Legend of Zelda game has been open world in some way, shape, or form.
yeah, kind of. When people think open world, they think not. They think a world that does not have, I think, what they call the Metrovania thing going on. Like I
Yeah.
played Legend of Zelda. It wasn't Ocarina of Time. It was Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening.
It's Link's Awakening, and it was technically open world. You could go all over the map. You just needed
That's the
to
thing, though.
you need to
is-
unlock special weapons or items or something to be
Yeah.
able to travel the entire map. Whereas you've contrasted that with something like Skyrim, where you walk out of the beginning area and there is nowhere that you cannot walk.
Yeah. Now, that being said, every single Legend of Zelda game has always been in some way, shape, or form open world. None of this is any truer than when people first started Ocarina of Time and to realize that, like, I think the problem is a lot of people get confused. Because when most people think of Legend of Zelda, they think of the dungeons. They think of, like, Ganon's Tower, the Water Temple, the Shadow Temple, where it's all very linear sequences. But that's not what Zelda is. It's not what Legend of Zelda is. Legend of Zelda has always been open world in at least some way, shape, and or form.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also another thing, though, that I've seen a lot of people get a bunch of fucking complaints about, and it's gonna sound a little weird, but I'm gonna go on a rant about like cartoons for a bit, because I was recently reminiscing on fucking Adventure Time, and I was sitting there like, man, oh man, I fucking love Adventure Time. I miss it so much. And then I realized that the only thing I miss about Adventure Time was like the first 2-3 seasons. Everything else after that, after the actual writers left the fucking series, was a hot dumpster fire.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear a lot of people go on about how, oh, well, we got Endgame Bubbleen. And it's like, yeah, you got Endgame Bubbleen, but guess what? It shouldn't have happened. Why? Because you're
Endgame. What?
Bubblegum and Marceline got together at the end of the fucking series.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people come up with catchy
Shipping
names for their
names?
ships,
Yeah.
I don't always know what they are.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you know what Finn Celine is. It was one of the most popular ships for Adventure Time.
Like, I know the name of 5 characters in the show. I've never actually seen it.
Finn, Jake, I'm guessing
Finn?
Bon-
Finn, Jake, Marceline, Princess Bubblegum, and the Ledge.
Who could forget the Lich, man? You couldn't forget him if you wanted to. That motherfucker stayed.
Ron Perlman has
Oh,
a gift.
he was such a fucking world-class villain, man. Oh my god. Anyways, I was fucking reminiscing, and I was just sitting there like, I wonder why I don't like the later season of Adventure Time. And I did some more thinking. I was like, oh right, the writers left, the pandering happened, and shit just went south.
The weathering happened?
The pandering,
Ah.
yeah, because people will say that Bubblegum and Marceline, it's like, oh, we're building up to that relationship for a long time. You just need to understand it. It's like, they weren't really building up to that, though. There was like a few scenes of a past relationship and a few sentimental scenes, but like, that's it. But at the same time, let's be real here for a second. Bubblegum called Marceline monster trash. How the fuck are you gonna get back with someone who basically called you a racial slur and act like nothing's wrong?
I don't know. People's brains work in weird ways. I don't have anything for you on that.
Because, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't make any fucking sense. That's like... I'm gonna get a little risky here. That's like someone being in a relationship with a black man and walking up to that fucking guy and just going, "You're a hardcore, dirty motherfucking beep," and just full on saying it. Like, do you have any idea how fast that relationship would crash, burn, and never get lit again?
Yeah.
Like, she straight up called
Although
her...
that even that sort of thing is kind of funny in that, like in Australia, if you want to insult someone, you call them a cunt. If you're
Yeah.
with all your good friends, you also call them cunt.
Yeah,
The same word means different things depending
Yeah,
on
but that's
who
the
you're
thing,
around.
though, right? That's the thing. But at the same time, like, if I was a black man and someone straight up called me the N-word and expected me to get back with them after a relationship like that, hell the fuck no! You can die alone.
That is fully and entirely fair.
But like, the problem is that when Bubblegum and Marceline got together, I immediately sat
Yeah.
down and I was like, why? Yeah, they had a previous relationship, fair enough, right? But
Yeah.
why did they choose to get back together? It didn't make any sense. Bubblegum called her monster trash, a racial fucking slur, basically. You don't just, oh, I was angry, tee hee hee, and walk the fuck away. No. You abso-fucking-lutely do not just get to fucking hand wave that shit away. Like, fuck that, man. Nah. But that's the thing, though, is I later on realized why that happened and why they got together. And lo and behold, it was just because, oh, the fans are shipping these people? Fuck it, let's put them together. Not really any other reason other than that.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, we're doing it now. A shit ton of fucking movies, TV shows, games, they're all doing it now. Look at our gay characters! Oh! They're so cute and gay! It's like, I don't fucking care. Are they well written? But they're cute and gay! Are they well written?
That's always the fun question, isn't it?
Because, like, there was a debate on Twitter a while ago, and it was over the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, that fucking reboot of Loud
Huh?
Family,
Uh-huh.
and
I have. Is that like Is that like that that like little kid with his like 10 sisters? The Loud House thing?
no. Do you remember the Proud Family? It was probably way back when, but
I have not heard of the Proud Family.
okay. Well, the Proud Family was a show that aired when I was like really fucking young. It was a great show. It was well written, good characters. It got a reboot recently, and the dreaded sentence has come to pass. It got updated for a modern audience.
Why do people do that? Why do they think that something needs updating for a modern audience? If it like
Gonna be real
what
here.
you can get away what you can get away with on a television screen, it has changed a bit, but
Yeah, but
audiences have responded to this same sort of good or bad stuff since ever.
Yeah. And like
Sorry.
I'm gonna be real here. If your show is well written and conveys a theme and handles a theme really fucking well, who the fuck cares if it's not handled and modernized in any way, shape, or form? I don't give a fuck if it's modern or not. I give a shit if it's actually a good fucking story. Which is unfortunately a lot of the fucking problems nowadays.
True.
So I was just fucking scrolling through Twitter. I was just looking around, and I saw a bunch of people be like, "Oh well, you know, Bubblegum and Marceline should have gotten together a lot earlier than the season finale." Honestly, I don't think they should have. I refuse to accept the fact that it's canon because fuck them, you know. Because all right, speaking
The way I see these last minute get together pandering things is okay. We don't need to keep the audience anymore because the show is ending, so we can do whatever the hell we want.
yeah,
So
obviously,
here is your lesbian ship. It's done. It's dusted. You get your thing.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing though, is that at the same time, I can understand why they did it, but still doesn't make it any right.
Yeah.
Because, again, well, like, when the writers left the show via, like, on a strike,
Mhm.
the show should have just been dropped. I'm gonna be fucking real here.
Yeah.
Because once the writers left, you could tell that nothing was making sense anymore. Characters' motivations didn't make sense. Characters' fucking emotions were flip-flopping around all over the fucking place.
It's just like how when the original writers of the Simpsons retired or moved on to other projects.
Simpsons should have just been finished at that point. There shouldn't have been any more Simpsons episodes after that.
Yeah.
Because at this
You
point,
could immediately tell that
oh yeah,
it was not the same
it
show
was
anymore.
not The Simpsons. No. And like that's the thing, is that people don't often realize that real diehard fans can tell whether or not something is fucking being genuine or whether or not someone's fucking puppeting a dead corpse of a show.
Mm-hmm.
That also does bring me to another certain topic. Now that we're on like the whole pandering shit and the shipping shit, the pandering that pissed me off, I think, the most was Bridget's reveal this year for Guilty Gear Strive.
What do you mean, Bridget's reveal?
So, Guilty Gear Strive is one of the new, well, It was supposed to be the reboot to the Guilty Gear franchise because Arc System decided to do that. Now,
Is this the
Yeah.
thing where they basically had a long, complex Japanese word for it? It's a guy who presents as a girl while still
Otokonoko?
identifying as a guy. Yes.
Otokonoko? Yes.
Is that where that was a thing, and people know people, and for the while Bridget was a trap meme, and then the trans people kind of came around and claimed him as trans,
Yeah,
and so the
yeah.
creator was like, "Look, sure, the person who had this kind of complex thing going on, they're just like trans now. You win, guys."
You know what's hilarious? You fucking nailed it on the head. You're directly on the money. Because, like, the moment the transgender crowd went, oh, they're trans, one of the fucking Japanese... It wasn't... The best part is, he wasn't even the creator. He was the fucking artist. He didn't even create the character. He just designed the fucking character's appearance, and that was it.
But oh, really? I thought
Yeah.
he was like some kind. I thought he was like a
He-
creative mind, a creator or something,
No,
and was
he's
just kind of like,
he's like-
handing away the shop.
He's like the character, like he's the artist. He wasn't even
Oh.
like the creator of the backstory or everything else. He was literally just the artist, and everyone just took his word as law, which is hilarious.
Hilarious is a word for it.
I don't know. It's hilarious in a fucked up way because, like, how are you gonna shoot yourself in the foot over a fucking portion of the goddamn audience that doesn't even play your fucking games? Like, bye.
Who doesn't play your games, doesn't understand your games, because there was like this entire fervor about this thing, about the trap kid or whatever. And then I talked to actual fans of the game, and they're like, well, yeah, that line that they're using to justify this is basically, this is the bad ending. In the good ending, the kid's just like, I'm a boy, but it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. But it was like, you guys don't even know anything about this game.
Oh, fuck no. Because, like, here's the thing. There is 20 plus years of backstory for Bridget,
Uh-huh.
and the hilarious part is, every time you bring up this backstory to these people, they completely ignore it. They go, nope, didn't happen. I'm like, fuck off. Because people like...
That is the appropriate response.
Yeah, because he's like... They're all like, oh, well, Bridget's trans. We accepted him as trans. It's like, why are you taking him as trans? Do you know his fucking backstory? No. Do you want to know it? Sure. He was fucking being groomed under the force of death or fucking exile. I really don't think you want to pick this for your trans representation.
I don't think they care.
Well, no, they don't, because it's fucking stupid. Because they're stupid. But no, like... Okay. A part of me is glad that Tim is not active on this server much.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
It probably is for the best, because me and him got into, like, a bunch of fucking arguments. Okay, we got into a bunch of fucking arguments, and I probably shouldn't be mentioning this on stream, but fuck it, whatever, you know? He already knows my feelings about this. We got into a bunch of fucking arguments, because he was like, oh, well, I think it's okay for you to bring your kid to a drag show. And I'm like, who the fuck think that's okay?
No kidding.
Yeah, like he sat there and it's like, it's fine if you bring your kid to a drag show. They're family friendly. I'm like, no, the fuck they are not.
No, they're not.
And he
They're
was
not. They're not. Any, if you
They-
actually get a drag, if you corner some drag performer and make them be real with you, they'll be like, "Yeah, we're playing up a
it's
we're
it,
like
it,
flaunting an exaggerated version of sexuality here. This is an adult show."
yeah. Even they'll be real with you. It's an adult
I know.
show. It's not a fucking. It's not something you can bring little Timmy to after a fucking daycare.
Mm-hmm.
We also got into an argument about how he was fucking saying, "Oh, puberty blockers, they're completely 100% reversible," and I'm like, "No, they're fucking not. They're just straight not. Like, I hate to break it to you, they're fucking not."
No, it's the entire puberty blockers thing is my most giant issue with
It
the
is.
entire trans people, because this is a medicine developed for a rare to treat a rare condition where where a kid is entering puberty too early and it's bad for them. So so you're treating that condition. Now you're just like giving healthy kids medicine that is designed for sick kids.
Yeah.
You should not be doing this.
No. You absolutely should not be doing that. But, like, we kept getting into arguments, we kept getting into words, and he's like, "Oh, well, you know, why do you..." We eventually talked about Bridget, and it's like, why do you not like Bridget's fucking retcon as being trans so much? It's because if I fucking took Luke fucking Skywalker, a character that existed for 20 plus fucking years, and suddenly turned him into a woman, I don't think a lot of people would be happy. Would you be happy?
No.
Obviously not, right?
Well, obviously not. And besides, they kind of they kind of tried to, and that's how we got Rey Skywalker.
Fucking hate the bitch with a fucking passion. The worst part is that Luke actually... No, the worst part is Luke had training. Luke had a mentor. Luke fucking learned. Rey just existed. Oh, well, she's heard about stories of Jedi. It's like, I don't think you understand. Someone who has absolutely no prior connection to the Force, all of a sudden learning to Jedi mind trick a motherfucker? Nah, not happening. No.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst part about that movie, besides the whole Mary Sue fucking character, which everyone's already ragged on, we were denied an absolutely amazing fucking Star Wars trilogy featuring a stormtrooper finding out he's Force fucking sensitive and having to run and flee from all he's known to go and join the Rebel Alliance to fight back against the First Order. We got denied that fucking series. We got denied that plot line because of some random white bitch.
Yeah, another thing we were denied, that it was like, okay, so you have Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, all alive still. I mean, this is the first movie, all alive still, and you don't get the gang back together for an incredibly satisfying member berries experience. And then Carrie Fisher drops dead, and that was never going to happen.
Nope.
When Carrie Fisher dropped dead, that was never going to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
You lost your opportunity.
Mm-hmm. fucked. Like,
Mhm.
the worst part is, I wanted to like the new Star Wars trilogy. I wanted to like it. I gave it a shot. I wanted to like it. Worst waste of my time in my life.
Yep.
But no, like,
Man, although when they got to giving us a solo backstory movie, that shit was almost hilarious.
oh yeah. Because by that time, you could tell they were backpedaling hardcore. They were like, okay, we fucked up. We know. We see now.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, though, is that no matter
Although
how much...
I thought the best thing about this solo movie is that they had basically a feminist robot, and they called her L3 3T or something like no 7337 or something like that. And it's like, you literally called your feminist robot Elite. The little gamer Elite tag.
Jesus Christ.
Wonder if any of them even realized. I was certain that was just some nerd
Oh, you
Um,
know damn
in
well
the
it was some
Packers.
fucking nerd in the writing room just like, I got him. But no, like,
Yep.
it's... Oh my god. While I was reminiscing about fucking Adventure Time and all that shit, I was also reminiscing on some of the other shows that I used to watch when I was young. Well, not really when I was young, when I was still a teenager, mostly. And I was just thinking about, like, what other shows had fucking shipping basically ruin the appeal of the show for me, and I was just like, I don't know which one does and which one doesn't, to be honest. And then I kept thinking, it was just like, it's probably gonna be Star vs. the Forces of Evil, because that show was trash.
Yeah, towards the end, it definitely was. I remember that there isn't there like a villain called Toffee who is actually pretty damn good, entertaining.
Yeah, he's like the best villain out there. Like, he's the best villain of the show. Which is great, but also not great. Because unfortunately, him being the best villain also means he's the best character. Because all the other characters were fucking hot dog water. Because I know a lot of people are going to say, like, oh, well, you know, Marco was fine. It's like, Marco really wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
This is definitely something that I cannot speak with authority on because, like a lot of these, I didn't watch it.
No, but see, okay, so this guy, Marco Diaz, normal human, right? Living a normal life, you know, normal.
Yes.
Magical princess from another dimension pops into the fucking world and becomes his mystical, magical roommate, right? So you're thinking, alright, cool.
Yep.
Just another, you know, good old show, kind of like Adventure Time. And then, after a little bit of time, this girl that you come to live with, and you come to know, suddenly confesses that she has a crush on you, and that she likes you. This is, like, near the end of, like, the first or second season, by the way. And you're like, oh, okay, so they're gonna get together, it's fine, you know, they had a bunch of episodes to build it up, you know, blah, 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 blah. And so he ditches his entire life on Earth, you know, he has a mutual breakup with his boyfriend. Sorry, not boyfriend, girlfriend, Jacqueline Thomas, and you know, mutual breakup with the girlfriend. You know, say goodbye to all your friends and family, and he goes off. He goes off, and he basically sacrifices his entire life to be with this chick, right?
Yeah.
He gets there, and it turns out that not even like 5 or so days after she confessed to him, she had already gotten back together with her ex-boyfriend, who is an angry, obsessive, control freak demon.
I see.
And I was just sitting there like, I see what you're doing, show. I don't like it.
So what was the show doing?
It was trying to get people to be like, okay, so, shipping wars, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It was basically doing that, except, oh, who's Star gonna be with? It's like, I don't give a fuck anymore, man. I don't give a like, how fucking dickish do you have to be to confess your love to someone, and then, like, a week passes, and you're just all buddy-buddy snuggling up with your girlfriend, with your ex-fucking girlfriend or boyfriend again. Like, bro, you would get slapped.
Yeah, I endorse.
I think the worst part is, though, is a lot of these shows and a lot of games, now that I think about it, had a lot of really good potential. If they were just handled well, they could have been great, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A couple friends of mine were talking
But
about Anthem recently, that supposed Destiny killer, and we were talking about it, and we were like, man, it really does suck the game kind of fell off. It's like, yeah, it would have been great. It would have been cool. But
Hey, look, when I played Anthem, I enjoyed Anthem. It's just I ran out of things to do.
oh yeah, there's not a lot of content in that game, which is unfortunately a massive killer when you want to try and make a game that kills something as big as Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I don't like the fact that Destiny and Bungie sunsetted 90% of the fucking game and all the fucking campaigns, so you can't play through them again. But at the same time, I do understand why, you know?
Oh, why?
Because, as they're making more and more content for the game, they have to eventually make more room, and instead of making the game, like, Call of Duty levels of big, they just decided to skimp out and shave a bit of excess off the sides. Because, like, I downloaded Call of Duty, like, the new one, the Modern Warfare 2022. I was sitting there like, alright, how much is this gonna fucking sit in my hard drive for? What's the storage space? It was almost 200 gigs, and I shot a fucking brick. I was sitting there like, what the goddamn name of Sam fuck you got going on in there for 200 fucking gigabytes? Fuck you doing? But yeah, fucking... I don't know how the fuck people can get into shipping wars, because it's just like, who the fuck cares who gets with who at the end of the fucking day? It's a fictional fucking character. I don't give a shit. But at the same time, like, I do understand it, because I wanted Finn to get with Marceline, because Marceline's probably the only one that actually really relate to him. Because, I mean, Bubblegum's a fucking sociopath. She ain't gonna fucking relate dick.
Oh, that was a sociopath, huh?
She's either a sociopath or she's a fucking psychopath. Let's face it. There ain't no fucking way in goddamn hell anyone normal would absolutely experiment and torture their fucking own citizens on a daily basis.
Oh, is that what? Oh, really? Is that what's going on with her? I had no idea.
Oh, you don't even know the half of it, man.
Man.
I shit you not.
Yes.
She... Okay, here's how dumb Bubblegum is, and here's how fucking reckless she is with her science. She has caused a zombie apocalypse, not once, not twice, but thrice.
So there's a. So she's. How do you even do that?
She's a mad fucking scientist, except unlike Dr. Jekyll, she doesn't experiment on herself. So she's a false mad scientist. But,
Well,
like, I think the worst part about Bubblegum's character is the fact that people were still defending her actions. It's like, oh, well, you know, she fucking manipulated a bunch of people. No. Oh, let's also not forget the fact that she had cameras placed in everyone's homes and was spying on everybody.
what the heck show was this?
Hmm?
What the heck show was this?
It's
Like, I thought it was supposed to be some kind of kids thing.
Yeah, no.
Not like Orwell.
I mean, surprisingly, Adventure Time can peter the line very well. But, like, yeah, she had cameras placed in everyone's home and was very Orwellian in watching fucking everybody. And let's also not forget the fact that Bubblegum also enlisted the Ice King to put the Fire Kingdom in danger because she wanted to sabotage their defenses and any of their attacking golems in case the Flame Kingdom ever decided, hey, Bonnibel's fucking around too much. It's time she found out. So, she enlisted the Ice King's help to freeze the Fire Kingdom, cause untold amount of casualties, and when she was caught, it was basically just, oops, my bad. Bonnibel.
Is Bonnibel the Princess Bubblegum's actual name?
Yes. Princess Bonnibel
okay.
Bubblegum. Yeah. Fucking...
Okay.
Oh my god. The worst part is that I could even argue and say that she was... If you asked me a couple of years ago what my thoughts on her would be, I would say that she's not that bad of a character. And now I'm sitting here and saying, if you put me in a room with fucking Bonnibel, the Lich, me, and a gun with 4 fucking bullets, I'm shooting Bonnibel 4 fucking times, and I'm beating the Lich to death with that fucking gun.
That does not surprise me. Beating Lich to death with a gun.
So, think of it this way, right? You and your friend are living out in the fucking, you're living out in the grasslands, you're in the Adventure Time world, you're just making your own life, you're minding your own business, you're not part of the Candy Kingdom. You open your fucking door, and you see Bonnibel, and you see Princess Bubblegum fucking taking gold from you. It's like, why are you taking our gold? It's like, oh, it's taxes. Oh, okay. Hang on. I don't fucking live in your kingdom, bitch. Get your hands on my gold. She straight up fucking took gold from Finn and Jake, and it was just like, you just don't let it get everybody
And did the show seem to realize that she was a villain or something?
I think she's always been the villain. It's just the show writers didn't know. It's just they had no writers to actually properly convey her, so they just went, fuck it. Because, again, when the writers left, they had nobody. It was the fucking, the storyboard directors doing all the writing and the dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Which, fucking terrible, by the way. Oh my god. The worst part is that you could have had a really nice story. It could have been a really good story. But because they fumbled the fucking bag so hard, we're probably not going to get another Adventure Time-esque game again.
Didn't they make a Adventure Time follow-up story or something?
They did. It was called Distant Lands, and then there was another one called Together Again. Sucks. Yeah, it's awful. Because Distant Lands isn't that bad, but Bubblegum has gotten so totalitarian that she literally put all of her fucking people into a giant walking, Gumball Guardian. Yeah, the Gumball Guardians already existed. She converted one into a fucking living space and is now making sure that everybody stays the fuck in there because she doesn't want anybody else leaving. She's become that fucking totalitarian in Distant Lands. And Together Again is oh, it's an epilogue. Same thing for Distant Lands. Alright, cool. Distant Lands and Together Again were more focused on Marceline and Bubblegum. Marceline, I don't mind. I love Marceline. Fucking wicked. Right? But I don't fucking like Bubblegum. I fucking hate Bubblegum. With a passion. Oh.
Yeah, what? Yeah, now that I think about it, I seem to remember Marceline being considered a pretty cool character.
Marceline canonically has the title of Radical Dame. By
Seriously?
Finn.
Really?
Yeah, she canonically has the title of Radical Dame by Finn fucking Mertens himself. The main fucking character. Straight up said, you are a Radical Dame.
I love that. That is actually a thing that he said.
Yeah. The crazy part is the fact that, again, we got Bubblegum and Marceline, and we didn't get Finn and Marceline. Which would have made a lot more fucking sense. Yeah, you could argue and say, oh, well, he was gonna die, he was gonna grow old. It's she's a fucking vampire. She just fucking turned him.
It would be bizarrely wholesome.
It would be. Because think about it, right? You got a fucking vampire girlfriend or boyfriend, and they're like, I don't want to see you grow old. It's then bite me, bitch! The fuck you doing?
Well, yeah, it could be our thing, man.
It's it's literally just sitting there I don't want to see you grow old and die and fade to dust while I'm still young. Then bite me! Jesus Christ! Because, yeah,
that's funny.
You could argue and say that, oh yeah, well, she didn't want Finn to grow old if they ever got together. It's yeah, but okay, again, bite him. But on the other hand, she's still gonna watch everyone else she knows and loves die anyways. She's immortal. She can't die. At least not by normal means.
So canonically, she nibbling on bubblegum or something.
I don't want to think about.
I don't know what I don't know what the rules of bubblegum are. Whether she's like also a mortal or just kind of like a normal mortal that's insane.
She's honest to God an ageless. She's okay. She's not immortal. But because of the whacked out science and all the experiments she's done, and let's face it, because she's not exactly human, she doesn't age like a normal person.
Mhm.
So, she's not ageless, but she's like 800 so years old.
Oh, I see.
And Marceline's like 1,000 years old.
I see.
So, like, at the end of the day, yes, I can see the point. Oh, well, don't want to see him grow old. 1, bite him. Problem solved. 2, you're gonna fucking do it anyways because you're fucking ageless. You're an immortal fucking vampire. Everybody you know and love is gonna fucking die anyways.
Yes, absolutely.
So if he's gonna fucking die, either you make sure you cherish every single moment with that man, or, here's just a thought, bite the motherfucker. Like, it's not that hard of a dilemma. It's like, I don't want to curse my girlfriend to a life of immortality with me. It's like, bitch, she just fucking said she'd be willing to die for you. Fucking marry her already. And bite her, for fuck's sake. Like, Jesus. Ah, my God.
I endorse your exasperation.
Definitely. I think the most egregious part though was the fact that like the show never acknowledged how much bullshit Finn went through and how much trauma he's got. Cause yeah, one could argue and say, oh well, Finn doesn't have that much trauma. Maybe, maybe not. But then again, Lich. Hi.
Yeah, didn't he like lose an arm so that he could wield the grass blade or something?
No, he was cursed with the grass sword, and eventually came to accept the curse. But he did lose his arm. He lost his arm chasing after the Lich, who escaped to a cosmic prison out in the fucking cosmos. And in trying, I forget what he was like trying to do, but in trying to do something, he eventually stretched his arm, and the grass like took over and helped him out. But eventually the force was too much, and so his arm just got snapped off. Because like
is that an occasion where the fall speech from the Lich comes in?
I don't believe so. No, I think it's a different one.
Oh, okay.
Fuck. But yeah, I don't think the show properly understands just how much bullshit Finn goes through. Like, they're like, okay, I'll put it this way. For anybody watching out there, if you're watching this, cool, hi, you know, welcome to the stream, say hello, I got my chat open, I'm waiting for responses. But, let's put it this way. You are trying to get with people, and they keep fucking telling you, oh, you're too young, you're not man enough, or, such and such, right? Or you're not fucking, you're not enough, right?
Uh-huh.
My boy Finn has got to have so many fucking self-esteem issues, that shit ain't even funny anymore, man.
Yeah, I'll bet.
It's like, I'm gonna be 100 with you, Chief. If I kept having people tell me, like, I'm not good enough, or, I'm not enough, it's gonna do absolute damage to your fucking mental health, like, your mental health and your self-esteem. So, like, Bonnabelle fucked him up for that one. Immensely. And the worst part is, Bonnabelle was continuing to lead him on. Like...
Uh-huh.
Fuck. That's not one. Oh, Christ. Holy fuck. I don't know how long we've been streaming for. No, it's about an hour. I can go for a little more.
Yeah.
I haven't fucking slept yet today, so... Well, I took a nap. But I'm still feeling tired, so I'm probably gonna go take another nap soon, but yeah. Fucking... I don't know, man. I think the most hilarious part is the fact that people were getting so upset over Hogwarts Legacy. Because... I've said this once, I've said it 1,000 times. If you're going to be a hate mob over something as stupid as a video game, or a fucking book, or a movie, you're probably the bad guys. I'm gonna be real with you.
Well, they are absolutely the bad guys. There was I was in a different server where the lady is, or the girl is very much part of the entire LGBTQIA plus community, and she gets on one day and is like, some absolute bitch just went after my mom on Facebook because she posted a funny Harry Potter meme. It called her a murderer. This girl was properly pissed.
No, of course. You target the family, it's all gloves are off. It's all hands on deck, baby. These hands are ready to eat for everybody. But that's the thing, though, right? And I keep bringing this up to people who continually defend, like, the whole gender ideology thing. And I've said this once, I've said it again, I'll say it until I'm fucking dead. If these people who want to be men and these people who want to be women can't define what the fuck a man or a woman is, you need to stop. And get some fucking mental help. Because you ain't doing shit.
No, they're not.
Because I've heard so many fucking people go, oh, well, being a woman is like a feeling. It's like a dress or a thought. I'm like, first off, your fucking grandmother would be ashamed of what the fuck you're talking to. What the fuck you're talking about. Because she fought for the right to be seen as an actual woman and not just a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And this is also part of the reason as to why I always... The worst part is, I am okay with people who quietly transition and don't make it their job to shove it down everyone's fucking throats. My problem comes from the people who want to transition without actually transitioning.
Yep.
Or...
Granted, what transitioning involves makes me feel kind of bad for the people who go all the way through it, but it's neither here nor there.
Well, because fucking technology is not advanced enough to do anything like that. We're not amorphous. We can't just change your fucking sexual characteristics at fucking will. And I'm sorry. Let me just put this out there, right? I find it really fucking hilarious how they're parading around, oh, it's a gender ideology. It's not a cult. We're all brothers and sisters. And I'm sitting here like, you are parading around a fucking ideology based on a study of a man who sexually assaulted and harassed children. You are not on the right side of history.
The entire John Money thing.
Yeah, exactly. If you were unironically supporting his fucking scientific quote unquote fucking studies, and you're basically putting that as the backbone of your fucking ideology, you're not on the right side of history. You're probably the bad guys, and you probably deserve a bullet. That's another reason as to why I can't support this fucking LGB. I'm gonna be honest. The LGB group, the original group for gay rights, we got what we wanted. We are now openly accepted in society. We do not have to worry about getting fucking shot, stabbed, or beaten for being openly gay in the fucking streets. We got what we wanted. Which is part of the reason I don't see the point in a pride parade. And it's also part of the reason as to why anything after the B.
Yeah. I apologize. During all of what you were just saying, my dad came in and demanded that I talk to him and give him a password and everything, and I lost, and I kind of wasn't able to hear you.
Oh, don't worry about it, man. It's fine. You want me just to repeat the last thing that I said? Or just repeat the whole,
Let's see. I think it was just after the thing about we're not amorphous.
Yeah. So, we're not amorphous beings, right? We
True
can't
that.
we can't change our sexual characteristics on the fly.
No, we can.
And the problem with this whole gender ideology thing is, like I said with John Money, it's being backed by all the wrong types of ideologies and the wrong types of people, which is horrific.
Oh, yeah.
But this is also another reason as to why I can't support the LGBT community. Is one, the original LGBT gay rights group got what we wanted.
Yep.
I can be openly gay in the fucking streets now, and I don't have to worry about getting shot and stabbed and beaten half to death. It's fucking great. We got what we wanted. So, as a gay man, I'm asking this to everyone who's listening, to you especially, just random listener, to my friends and everyone else. Why the fuck do we have a whole month for Pride and only one fucking day for soldiers and veterans? That shit never made sense to me.
Because previous oppression?
It
That's my
doesn't.
best guess.
Honestly, that's probably your best guess. It doesn't matter though, because yeah, Pride Month, woohoo, whatever. We can be gay, woohoo. Why not have a month?
Do you know what question I always had was, how do you tap on everything after the LGB onto the LGB. None of those other things are sexualities.
No, they're not. Transgenders, it's not well, it might be a sexuality, but their fetish is just, look at me, I'm a woman, or look at me, I'm a man. And then you have to remember, oh, right, the times where there was fucking rampant people going on and saying, oh, we should let pedophilia be a part of the LGBT community. And almost immediately every motherfucker in existence went, if you do that, we will fucking kill you.
No, for me, it was almost better than that. In that it was like, if you come up with this incredibly broad definition of what's needed and all these things, you don't really have a replacement standard to
Yeah.
replace all the Christian stuff.
Yeah.
How are you going to say that the pedos are not allowed in? And we found out, not that it was particularly surprising. We don't have a way to do that. Sorry.
Nope. Because they knew for a fact, if they fucking did that, it would end horribly. They knew.
If they kicked out the pedos, it would end horribly.
Oh, no. If they let the pedos in, it would end horribly.
Well, it's kind of seems like it's on the way to happening officially, whether or not they really want it to.
Yeah, and that's just gonna open a whole new fucking can of worms, and it's not gonna be good for society, I'm telling you now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, shock of all shocks. Oh no! The world is controlled by people who want to be pedophiles! Golly gee! But that's also another thing, is once the trans rights fucking groups started targeting children, and like, yeah, I get it, right? You can argue and all that all you want and say, oh well, there's trans youths. It's like, okay, do you want to know what the fuck your trans youths supposedly are? I'll give you a little hint. They're not trans.
They're gay. They're gay. They're kind of, as far as I can tell, they're kind of confused gay kids.
Yeah. Or like the worst thing I've seen is when all these parents come out with like, oh my god, my kid's trans, and it's like, let your kid be a fucking kid. Don't fucking cherry pick and nitpick every single little thing. I also find it, like, fucking hilarious how they're like, oh, well, you can't reduce us to sexual stereotypes, we're trans people. But at the same time, they are reducing what it means to be men and women down to sexual stereotypes.
Yep. They're the people who are like, you can't define a woman. You can't define a woman, and trans women are women.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. So what makes a woman a woman? Well, it's they look like one. And because trans people look like one, they are absolutely women. Also,
I,
it's bigoted to try to define what a woman. Apparently.
I wouldn't even let them get that far in the fucking sentence. The moment they would say, "Oh, it's what a woman looks like," I would sit there and be like, "Then how do you explain half the fucking people that claim to be women with Adam's apples, 5 o'clock shadows, full fucking beards sometimes, and mustaches? Fuck off."
Mm-hmm.
The worst part, right, has to be the fact that they don't even acknowledge the fact they're doing this shit. They really fucking don't.
Yeah, they don't really. They don't really own it.
I'm gonna say it, they don't really care, to be honest. This is, I think. It's like, at the end of the day...
Well, of course they don't really care. They're nobody is standing there making them care. There's no consequences. There's no price for fucking around and finding out.
But
Of course they
that's...
don't care.
Yeah, that is also one of the biggest problems I have with a lot of people, is... They want representation so fucking... The problem I get with these people is they're so fucking fragile. Like, if you call them by their dead name once, almost immediately they want to break down, cry, and fucking kill themselves. Part of me finds it fucking hilarious.
At least that's definitely what they claim. At least my favorite one is if you say, like, do this thing, you are literally killing trans people. You're doing violence.
Oh my god. If you support Hogwarts Legacy, you're a trans genocide enabler. I'm like, fuck off. It's only game. Why you have to be mad? Because, like, yeah, one could argue and fucking say that, like, oh, well, you know, trans people, they go through a lot. It's like, you fucking people popped up as a fucking fetish because Caitlyn fucking Jenner just all of a sudden decided, me am woman.
Yep.
Like, y'all got no room to talk.
And the former Bruce was just like, I don't think he made a whole lot of it. I think the media made a whole lot of it, but I don't think he himself made a lot of it.
Oh, hell the fuck no. That motherfucker wouldn't know what to do with a fucking... He wouldn't know how to take the water out of a boot if the instructions were on the fucking heel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a famous athlete. You can't expect too much.
Yeah, he was a famous athlete, but at the same time, I don't know how the fuck that motherfucker's so famous now, because he literally ditched his entire fucking family and said, you know what? Fuck it. Yeet. And just became a woman. For no fucking reason. The worst part is, because he fucking did that, this entire movement started. And because this entire fucking movement started, we've now got so many people with so many fucking problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the worst part above fucking probably anything else in the world is probably the fact that these people don't realize that they can't fix themselves the way they think they can.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard a lot of people
I've always largely regarded the entire transitioning thing as therapeutic. Like you can like if somebody has phantom limb pain, you can use a mirror box to trick their brain into kind of conceptualizing the existence of the limb,
Yeah, but see,
and it can
the
and you can it's therapeutic.
the whole problem with that whole it's therapeutic thing, it can work for certain, but a lot of people are using this as a way to justify just their extremely creepy fucking behavior.
Uh-huh.
And above all else, I don't want to be that kind of asshole. But like, well, little late. I went on a fucking rant about trans people for half an hour. There's no backpedaling now. But like, it's if I had to explain it in the simplest way possible, if you are attempting to what the fuck? Okay, that's weird. Whatever. If you are attempting to actually make yourself into a different gender or into a different fucking person because you figure that's what you want to be, sure, fine. But please, for the love of God, don't do what a lot of people are fucking doing. Don't do what Tim did, because Jesus Christ.
Did I ask what Tim did?
Okay, so for context and for clarification, Tim talked to me in Discord one day and he pinged me in the chat. I'm like, alright, cool. Talk to him in DMs. I talked to him in DMs and he just opens up the conversation with, I think I might have gender dysphoria. And I'm like, oh no. No. You calm your fucking ass down. You take your fucking ass to a therapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. You get your fucking head checked. Don't do something stupid. And he texts me back like half an hour later and goes, I'm non-binary. I'm like, you son of a... Like, it's the worst possible thing you can fucking do, and I don't know why people do it. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna self-diagnose. There's no harm with that. It's like, there's plenty of fucking harm with that.
Mm-hmm.
But people just don't fucking understand it.
You know what one of the best things is? One of the ways to cure a teenager of all of this and thinking that they are in fact somehow transgender or non-binary or something like that is take away their internet access.
Oh, absolutely.
And just
120%.
take away their internet access and parent them a little bit, and they'll get it out of their system. Because without a bunch of anonymous randos on the internet reinforcing them, they just kind of revert to healthy.
The crazy part is it's not the first time this has happened to a bunch of people either. And, okay, I don't know if you go on Twitter recently, or, like, any time in the past couple of months or so, but, like, there's recently been a big thing, because a bunch of people are like, oh, well, if you like lolly, you're a pedophile. And it's like, how is it pedophilia? Well, because it's a drawing. Okay. It's a drawing of a child. Okay, it's still a drawing, it's fictional.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fuck? It's not any sort of fucking pedophilia if I'm just looking at a fictional drawing. It's not that big a deal.
And besides all that, as far as I understand the entire lolly thing, it is an adult, or at least a much older teenager, who has the appearance of a child.
Yeah, which,
as far as I understand.
Which, if I remember correctly, is actually a fucking disease that people can get. or be diagnosed with. I don't exactly know what the fuck the disease is, but I know it fucking exists for sure.
Uh-huh.
But I think, I don't know. It's weird because, like, these fucking people, like, lolicons and antis have gotten into a big fucking fight recently because antis are like, there's a bunch of children. The worst part about the antis is there was a bunch of stories that came out, and these kids are so, like, terminally online. It's so fucking horrible. Like, I remember there was a story I was reading, and I was just like, wow, if that was my kid, I would take away their internet access for fucking life. Forget a few months, it's gone for good. Because this kid ended up being like, oh, well, when did you guys meet? It's like, oh, well, I met him when he was 20, and I was, 23. And this kid kept going, yeah, but when you were 18, he was underage. It's pedophilia. It's like, oh my god. Shut the fuck up. I want to hit you. Like, Like, I want to just fucking hit people half the time. Because they say some of the stupidest fucking shit. It's like, oh no, I met my boyfriend when I was, fucking 17 and he was whatever the fuck. Who the fuck cares if there's a bit of a fucking age difference between you and your fucking partner? It's not that big a deal. There was so many fucking people being just like, oh, it's pedophilia. Oh,
Yeah.
makes no fucking sense.
I mean, granted, if the age difference is 7 is
If the age difference is anything above 4 years, for me, it's
a little swag.
Yeah, if the age difference is anything above 4 years, yeah, no, fuck off. But if the age difference is 4 years and under, it's not that bad. Could be worse. Like, there was another story I had fucking read through. And this daughter, like, posted on, it was, like, either Reddit or Facebook or something. And this fucking mother was essentially just, like, talking to her daughter. And her daughter was acting really fucking sketchy. So, like, naturally, the mother did the smart thing and went through her phone, right? As she was going through her daughter's phone, she found, and I shit you not, like, fucking heaping pounds of, like, porn. The weird part is, it wasn't porn she downloaded. It was porn from a Discord server that she had joined, owned and moderated by an adult who was acting... Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit here. Who was acting as if, oh, you can trust me. I'm not like those other adults. You can share your secrets. She was basically being groomed, essentially. And I was sitting there like, that's the most horrifying thing I think I've ever fucking heard happen. I really fucking hope to God that child is doing okay, and I hope to fuck she is getting some fucking form of mental relief, because Jesus Christ. Like, I think the worst part about it was the fact that, like, the mother raised her properly. The mother literally did everything right. It's just that because her daughter had access to the internet, that kid almost went down a horrible fucking path that she was probably never going to recover from. You know? And it's just, it's a fucked up thought that at any fucking point in time, something fucked up can happen. And you could be scarred for life. Because you decided to talk to a random person on the internet. It's horrible. Ugh. Oh my god. You good?
What was that?
Are you good? It feels like you're cutting out a little bit there.
I don't have the best headset.
I feel you. Anyways, the stream's been going on for about 2 hours. 2 hours of me ranting and playing random fucking games. So, I'm gonna call it quits here, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day, night, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas. I don't really care.